MotoGP is expensive, with the sport being valued at about $4.5 billion. To run a MotoGP team in a season, teams need about 20 to 30 million euros to be competitive. There are wages, crash damage costs, the costs of providing hospitality to guests, and plenty more. With costs like this, teams need help and sponsors provide that help. Monster Energy and Repsol are considered big sponsors of the sport, but there is one other sponsor who is on a similar level to them, and that's Marlboro, who had close ties to Ducati. Marlboro have a close association with motorsports, and their association is not considered clean. They are Ducati's dirtiest secret, and in this video, you'll see what we mean. Although the first motorbike race dates back to the late 1800s, an official motorbike race did not happen till 1949, which marks the conception of Grand Prix World Championship. During that time, Ducati wasn't even making bikes. It was transitioning from manufacturing vacuum tubes, condensers, and radio components to making Cucciolo, a small pushrod engine, which were mounted on bicycles. In the 50s, Ducati switched towards making bikes fully, beginning with 4-stroke motor scooters, before switching to more powerful bikes in the 60s. They then created a racing arm in the late 90s called the Ducati Corse, which the Ducati Motor Holding owned. However, it wouldn't be until 2002 that Ducati would join the MotoGP Championship. In the end of the 2002 season, Grand Prix World Championship changed their technical rules to prioritize 4-stroke machinery and renamed the championship MotoGP. This was a perfect rule for Ducati, and they unveiled their MotoGP bike, the Desmo Sedici GP3, at the 2002 Italian GP at Mugello. However, they would debut in the MotoGP Championship as a factory team in 2003. That season kicked off with a bang as Ducati rider Loris Capirossi clinched a podium finish in the opening round in Japan. Then later he electrified fans with a spectacular victory at the 6th race of the season at the Catalan Grand Prix in Barcelona. By the season's end, Capirossi secured a commendable 4th place in the championship standings. Ducati, fueled by their riders' performances, roared into 2nd place in the fiercely competitive manufacturers' standings. After their MotoGP debut in the 2003 season, Ducati came 3rd in the 2006, with their rider Loris Capirossi racking up 229 points for the year. In 2007, Ducati won their first championship with Casey Stoner, having an amazing season, from him winning 10 out of the 18 races. Their next MotoGP championship would come in 2022 and 2023, with the incredibly skilled Francesco Bagnaia coming out on top. During the early days of Grand Prix racing without sponsors, they struggled to maintain high-profile status and global reach. MotoGP was clannish, as teams used to paint their bikes in national colours. However, racing got more expensive, especially with the bigger engines and more electronics. Teams needed sponsors more than ever. So things changed in the late 60s, and now Grand Prix motorcycle racing has been rocking sponsor logos on their bikes since the late 1960s. Brands all jump at the chance to sponsor MotoGP because it offers a thrilling and powerful way to connect with a global audience. With races taking place across 5 continents and a TV viewership of over 400 million, MotoGP delivers unmatched international exposure. It's not just about quantity. The audience is top-notch, filled with fans in their prime spending years. MotoGP is the epitome of speed, innovation, and excitement, making it a dream partner for brands wanting to tap into the vibe of untamed youthfulness that MotoGP promises. Sponsors can showcase their cutting-edge products and bold values alongside the sport's high-tech, adrenaline-pumping atmosphere. The fast-paced action on track also generates fantastic content for social media and other channels, giving brands a cool, dynamic way to connect with fans. But it doesn't stop there. MotoGP is perfect for experiential marketing, offering brands the chance to host exclusive events, provide VIP access, and create unforgettable experiences. These unique perks can impress key clients and forge strong business relationships. Plus, partnering with star riders boosts brand visibility and connects with fans through the charisma of these racing heroes. In short, MotoGP sponsorships offer brands long-term exposure, deep audience engagement, and the chance to align with values like sustainability and diversity. It's the ultimate way to turbocharge marketing efforts and make a powerful connection with fans worldwide. So if you're looking to make a bold statement, MotoGP is the fast lane to take. Ducati came into the motorbike racing world long after sponsors were welcomed, and this gave them the advantage to hit the ground running with their sponsor Marlboro. After making a big splash in Formula One, Marlboro set its sights on another high-octane arena, MotoGP. Their relationship with Ducati began in 2003. The beautiful red and white bike with Marlboro logo was an iconic motorbike in the early 2000s. However, things changed when the EU banned the advertisements of cigarettes in the start of 2006. This led teams to withdraw from their relationship with some sponsors, but Ducati and Marlboro decided to do what many would consider dirty money, or dirty sponsorship. Marlboro and Ducati had to navigate the tricky waters of tobacco advertising bans. They got creative with their branding, using subtle yet unmistakable cues to keep the Marlboro name alive on the Ducati machines. One of their most clever tricks was the use of subliminal marketing in 2006. Ducati bikes often sported sleek red and white color schemes that were instantly recognizable. Even though the Marlboro name wasn't plastered on the bikes, the iconic color combination was a nod to the brand. It was a classic case of, if you know, you know. Fans and viewers could easily associate the bold red and white with Marlboro, even without seeing the logo. In 2007, Ducati's bikes also sometimes featured abstract barcode-looking designs that seemed random at first glance, but were actually inspired by Marlboro's branding. These subtle hints kept Marlboro's presence strong and visible, without directly breaking any rules. The brand's ability to stay in the spotlight without overt advertising became something of a legend in the MotoGP paddock. Then came the most obvious move. Marlboro created Mission Winnow, and that company became Ducati's title sponsor. The move wasn't a popular one, and the reason will make you speechless. Marlboro weren't even trying too hard to hide that they were trying to advertise their brand. The Mission Winnow shared crazy branding similarities to Marlboro. The company claims it is a content lab focused on stories and content which ask difficult questions and contribute to the important conversations of our time. Marlboro was sneaky, but MotoGP wasn't about to let them have their way, and some countries made their own moves. Australia and France made sure that the Ducati couldn't use the Mission Winnow name while racing in their countries. So, for their races in Australia and France in 2019, Ducati couldn't use the name Mission Winnow, and also the space for it on the bike had to be used for something else. Still, it didn't matter to Marlboro. They had won. By creating the Mission Winnow company and having them sponsor Ducati, they created a buzz around themselves. People who checked out Mission Winnow will find their links to Marlboro, and that way the cigarette brand could advertise to those people. Talk about deviousness. Marlboro's venture into MotoGP was eventful, and despite oppositions, they managed to keep their brand in the minds of fans and maintain a stylish, rebellious image, all while adhering to increasingly strict advertising laws. It was a thrilling ride that showed Marlboro's knack for adapting and thriving in the fast-paced world of motorsports. However, this partnership ended in 2021 as Ducati named Lenovo as their title sponsor in the 2021 season. Before becoming the title sponsor in 2021, Lenovo had been a small partner with Ducati for a few years. In 2018, Lenovo signed a multi-year sponsorship deal with the factory Ducati team as a technological partner. The Chinese brand had the goal of becoming a global brand, and with how Ducati had been heavily improving their machinery, they seemed a great fit for Lenovo's ambition. This is better than the sneakiness that accompanied their partnership with Marlboro. Ducati's union with Marlboro led to calls as far back as 2010, heavily criticizing the two companies for subliminal advertisement. MotoGP is a sport that delivers entertainment and fun, and this controversy with Marlboro will always be one of the dark spots of the sport. Do you know any other controversial sponsorship deals? Let us know in the comments.